New Zealanders are this morning with the same flag that they've had since 1902 after preliminary results showed the country doesn't want to change its national symbol after all. We're joined by our Sky News New Zealand reporter Patel, and was a little bit closer than I think a lot of people might have expected, but no change.
Yeah, certainly. But 56%, or a little bit more than 56%, chose to keep the Union Jack on their flag rather than switching to the alternative, which of course featured the silver fern, an Indigenous plant used in New Zealand for over 160 years as its national symbol. And yet New Zealanders chose to keep the Union Jack. Now, $26 million was spent on this campaign. It's a process that was floated by the Prime Minister in March of 2014, 2 years ago. And 2 referendums later, New Zealanders at Easter, a time for new beginnings, are waking up with the exact same flag that they've been using since, as you mentioned, 1902. Now, asked if this was a waste of time, the Prime Minister gave his answer. Have a listen.
I don't think you can say it's come to nothing, actually. Nearly 1 million people have voted for change, as said, dramatically up from the polls that we first saw. As a country, we've had enormous discussion. I mean, probably every school child in New Zealand's had a discussion about the flag and what it means. And actually, on a majority basis, we've done something that no other country in the world has done from what I can see. We've actually asked our people, do they want to change or not? And they've settled on the view that, on a majority basis, that they don't.
So the Prime Minister there just happy to have a conversation about the country's national symbol. Now, I've been talking to some of the people walking around here in Auckland on their thoughts of the flag referendum, both the outcome and the process. Have a listen to what they've had to say.
It was one of the, almost 2 million that did turn out to vote and did turn up. I voted for the new flag.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the current one. We've had it for as long as we have, and it's part of our history.
My aspect is my granddad and all that fought for the flag and everything, and if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Now, the political parties here in New Zealand have been divided over this process behind the 2 referendums in New Zealand. But one thing they all seem to be agreeing on is that if New Zealand does consider its flag again, it'll be at a time when New Zealand considers whether or not to become a republic. Brooke?
Thank you so much,